I'm in the process of creating a simple human resources recruiting process map, and I'd like to add role names. I'm going to select this task, go to the drop-down for responsible role, and what I'm presented with is the standard list that accompanies every task map. It's not the right list for your organization. We can't anticipate all the role names that you're going to want, but it's a starter list. So for this particular case, I'm going to choose clerk as the responsible role. What I'd really like is recruiter, but I know that's not one of the standard ones. We'll add that in just a moment. By the way, when you want to add role names, you don't do that in the shape data dialog. We don't want to make it too easy to add role names so that everybody adds a slightly different variation of the role names. You'll find, if that were to be the case, you'd find role names with different abbreviations, different spellings, different punctuation, and so forth. How do you customize role names? Well, there's a button for that. Customize role names allows you to do add, edit, and delete for the list. So I'm going to start with the role name I've put in place temporarily just to show one important thing to know when you edit a role name. And that is, let's say we decide this should be Chief Clerk. When you click OK, not only is that role name changed here in the list, but you notice the task in which I previously had clerk now says Chief Clerk. So when you change a role name, whether you add, edit, or delete, it affects the entire map. It does not affect any other task maps because roles are self-contained within each map. Same thing is true for delete. If I now take Chief Clerk and choose delete, I get a standard warning initially. That will be true for any role name you ask to delete. But in this case, I get a second warning because TaskMap is letting me know that this role name is actually in use on some page of this map, and am I sure I want to continue? When I say yes, that role name is gone from the list, and it's gone from every task in which it was used on any page in this process map. Now let's add roles. I'm going to add a recruiter. And let's click New again and add an HR manager. Now that I've customized my list, I can choose Close. I'll come back and talk about the import and export buttons in just a second. Now I go to my drop-down and find Recruiter as the responsible role, and let's add the HR Manager as a supporting role. So now this particular task is complete. I recommend that you begin by thinking about role names when you're starting a new mapping project. I find that that helps you get in tune with the process you're mapping and also allows you to use what I'm going to show you next, which is the import and export buttons. Once you've defined a set of role names for this map that you like, you can choose to export them. Clicking the export button will allow you to save that list of roles as a text file. Once you've done that, or if you have another way to generate role names, perhaps your HR system will export a list of role names for you. You can import role names from another task map. You can also import role names from Excel or from a text file. So if your HR system does export roles for you, you can save yourself a lot of typing by being able to import from another source. One thing that can be very helpful and save you a lot of time is to create a custom TaskMap template that contains your predefined list of roles. To do that, simply click File, Export, change file type, and then save your new TaskMap diagram as a TaskMap template. And then from that point forward, whenever you want to create a new TaskMap, simply use your custom template and your diagram will inherit all of the role names that you've previously customized.